Good morning, everyone. It is just still morning by 6 minutes. I didn't schedule this yesterday and I had a late night, so I was on a bit of a go slow this morning. I do apologize. And I know a few people have messaged just to say, is there a live stream today? And yes, there is. Hello. So yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to actually turn up, although apparently there is one person here already. So yeah, I am, excuse me, I haven't spoken to anyone yet this morning, so my voice is all croaky. Leslie Davis says, good morning. Good morning. What was I going to do? I was going to tilt the camera down a little bit. I've got my treats. I hate that this kind of stuff is in these shops at the moment. But this is like Sean crack. They're basically mini eggs, but the C word version. But we won't be saying that until after Halloween, will we? So yeah, I spent all day yesterday. What did I do? Was just working in the morning, and then I spent the evening sewing up the beginning of the Hemisferic coat. Oh, I got the cape, the little capelet finished yesterday as well. Fanny's here, good morning. And Ari says, good morning. Kitty Face, little kitty. Hello. Hello. Yeah, so I finished probably about 9 o'clock last night. I've been uploading the progress pictures to sorry, I'm getting so many messages saying, is there a hangout today? Yes, hello. I just didn't schedule it, sorry. Yeah, what was I saying? I've been uploading the pictures, the progress pictures to Instagram on my stories, because loads of people enjoyed seeing the 9076 go together that way, and I've made a highlight out of that one. So I thought I'd do the same for this one, but it's a little bit less exciting because the fabric's just a navy wool, so it's a little bit less like pretty to look at. But I'm liking how it's coming out so far. I think because the very front piece has 2 different pieces, and I think I've got them the right way around. Can you see anything? No, you cannot. So it's a raglan sleeve seam there, and then there's like the front piece there, and then this bit, once you've sewn this bit on, actually gets sewn as a dart. It's really interesting. There's shaping in this seam here, and then, but yeah, you really can't see that at all. But I think I have managed to get the front pieces done so that they are the right way around as well, because there's one bit that folds over and the zip goes in there. So I think I've done them right. This wool is really nice to work with. I got it from Lady McElroy because of course I did. They don't have it anymore. I bought the last of it, I'm sorry. But it's one of their 20% wool, no, 80% wool, 20% polyamide coating fabrics that they do. And I've bought that navy one, and I've also got I think the green one is actually cashmere. I think the green wool was cashmere, a percentage, like a small percentage, but I think it was. And then I've also got the red 80% wool, 20% polyamide. I've got 8.5 meters of that, so I'm still deciding what I'm going to do. I think I'm not 100%, because then I've decided I'm 99% sure I'm going to do the 6800 with the red wool, and then with what I've got left over, and make it kind of mid calf length. And then with what I've got left over, do the Faux Alexander McQueen biker style jacket with what I've got left over in the kind of like hopes that jacket will work for a yellow leather that I want to get. And I want to put my hair up. I washed it yesterday. It is still better. Like, it's much kind of less boxy cut. It's still not my favorite cut, but because I enjoy wearing it up, he left me as much length as he could whilst making everything look half decent. So yes, there we go. Just missed a bit, but you know, artful tendrils and all. Yvonne is here. Morning, everyone. Good morning. Priscilla's here. Good morning. Here in Michigan. 7 a.m. here in Michigan. Am I getting that right? Is it Priscilla? I think it's Priscilla because the other one's Pamela. Pamisi. Have I got that right? Or are you Pamela? I'm so sorry. I'm having a bit of a slow day today. That's for sure. Yes, Priscilla. Wow. Yay. Yeah, so I've got all of the back pieces of my coat that have been pinned to their flat lining, and I need to sew them to the flat lining. Then the back pieces need darts put in, which actually have to have the darts cut away, and I'm a little bit scared about that, but I thought I would sew. I've cut them out without that cutout piece down the middle of the dart, and I thought I would sew them to the interlining first, and then mark on the dart, sew that down as well so it doesn't move anywhere, and then, or baste that down so it doesn't move anywhere, and then try and put the dart in, and then you sew up. Then you sew the sleeve to the back and top stitch, and then you sew the center back seam and top stitch if you want to. I'm still deciding if I'm going to top stitch that back seam or not, because I've top stitched the across seams on the front but not the dart. I could, I suppose, but it did press really well. Like I say, this wool's behaving really nicely, so I don't have to top stitch it down. It is behaving well. Jackie says, good morning, 6 a.m. here in Iowa. Wow, good morning. Priscilla says, I got the 880 yesterday. Benina has a special going on right now, and you get a free cabinet. Couldn't pass that deal up. Nice. Very nice. Caroline is here. Happy Sunday. Hello. Yeah. What is it? Was it a horn cabinet or a koala cabinet? I love the fact that horn is Australian and koala is American. It really makes me giggle. So yeah. Great. So I'm going to put my stitch length up on my machine for basting of pieces, and then just baste them into place. Like a lot of people would do this by hand, and that is perfectly reasonable and acceptable. Let's move it around a little bit. There we go. Priscilla says a horn cabinet, the Luxe cabinet. Nice. Nice. I think Mum has the Luxes. No, Mum's got the Quilter's Dream. I've got the Supreme. Yeah, we love our horn cabinets for sure. For sure. And yeah, you definitely couldn't pass that up. Fanny said, trying to thread my vintage shinger that I haven't used in ages. Nightmare. Oh, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Actual sewing, 8 minutes and 40 seconds into the stream. Who even am I? So I have been watching Alias. I watched it when it came out. I had it on DVD. I gave it to Mum when she went to Iraq for the first time, so she gave her friends an Alias. It's really funny because the tech is so old. It's really, really funny. Like, it's a really good show. I really like it, and I'm surprised how many like big names are in this, because Bradley Cooper's in it, Jennifer Garner, Quentin Tarantino's just in a 2-part special. Yeah, like there's some big names that have done this show. I'd completely forgotten that Bradley Cooper was in it. But I am enjoying it. So, yeah. I would like to try and get this coat finished today, which might sound like a lot, but I think it's doable. I do think it's doable. I do really like how the cape has turned out. Like Jane was saying that she made a scout capelet the month that the pattern came out on Patreon, and she's never used it, and she's going to maybe use it for a wedding that she's going to, so it won't crush her Eve dress sleeves, which is actually a really good idea. But sorry, I do think that by itself it probably won't get worn very often in my wardrobe, but I quite like it as a way of adding a hood to a hoodless coat if you've got enough fabric. So the hemispheric coat neckline really allows for that because it doesn't have the kind of like collar like the 6800 does. But I was wondering, like, I might try excuse me, I might try this one on and then put the cape over the top and see how it feels, because like I say, I think it's a good way of adding a hood. I know this pattern comes with a detachable hood already. Oh my goodness, my throat. But I think that goes with the funnel neck of that coat as well. We were talking on the Peeps Zoom call on Wednesday, the Patreon Peeps Zoom call, about like coats and how, you know, V-neck coats are kind of a bit annoying because obviously you're wearing a coat to keep warm, and if you've got a V-neck then you've got to keep all this bit warm some other way. So people want coats that go all the way up to the top, which I do get, and I do have a few of, my Kelly Anorak and my Monoro. But I do really love this coat, and I do have a lot of scarves, so I am willing to wear a scarf with my coats to get the warmth factor. But yeah, like making one of these little hoods might not be a bad idea. So like as a detachable kind of hood thing. Like I say, I'm not sure that I'm ever going to wear this one without the coat underneath of it, because I don't know, I just don't think it would be practical. I have put magnets in this one. I have sewn magnets into it. Yeah, I think a drink is a good plan. A. Russworm says, hello from Madrid, cannot wait to see this coat and cape combo. Yeah, I think it's going to be really cute. It's either going to be really cute or it's going to be far too Sherlock Holmes. Maybe a red one would be a little bit Red Riding Hood. But I've made one of my make 9 and I like that. So I'm actually up to 4 on my make 9. And I'm a bit worried that I'm not going to complete it this year because I do have a couple of the very big dresses in there, which I do really want to do. And I have the fabric and the idea and all this, you know, all that stuff. But I'm worried about the underpinnings of them. Now I have heard from a couple of people that if you do like the boning and the under structure well enough, you don't actually need to wear a bra. You can kind of do your own built-in bra into the dress because it does have boning, and you can put like bust pads or bust cups into the dress to get that kind of like underwear look. But I really do want to perfect the corset. And I'm scared to go back to corset because I changed shape again. So I'm actually thinking that I'm going to go right back to version 1, but raise up. I think I might have told you guys this. Raise up where the bust starts, because that really was too low on that version. I can't try it on because I took it to pieces to make the second version. But yeah, go back to version 1 and try and just sculpt the neckline the way that I want it, with the idea that I'm going to put bust pads in it or like bust cups in it to help give me like the push up and shape without actually having to, and support without actually having to squeeze them up, if that makes sense. Because that was the problem with the one that I've ended up with, that it's kind of squishing me at the top. Even though there's 2 inches of room, I can pull it out 2 inches. It's not skin tight at the top. So yeah, I don't know enough about fitting to know what I'm doing wrong. Caroline wants me to make it even higher at the top, and it's getting to the point where it's like I want a modern corset to wear under modern dresses. Like, I don't want it to be so high that none of the dirty dresses are going to fit under it or over it, because the neckline's too high. It kind of negates the point for what I want from this corset. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to the corset and try again and experiment and see. I mean, maybe what I need is actually a corselet, not a corset. One that can be hook and eyed clothes, like Katarina Ivanova. I think I have her name right. She's made one of those, and it looks amazing. And it's not like I actually like. I would like a little bit of waist reduction, especially now because I'm super squishy at the moment. But I don't need loads of waist reduction. But yeah, that's why I kind of think I'm going to fail on my make line this year. I haven't had the society dress printed yet. I've got the fabric for it, and I have the pattern, but I haven't had it printed yet. So yeah. Yeah, I think that there will probably be some make lines that don't get made. Like, I haven't made the Hepburn top yet, and I really want to make that one, and that's actually quite an easy one to make as well. But I don't have the right fabric in my stash for it, because all the jerseys that I've got any meterage of are viscose, and that top needs a little bit of body, so I need to get like a cotton jersey rather than a viscose jersey. And I'm trying not to buy fabric at the moment, so but that would be an easy one to do, and I do think I like that t-shirt. That's one sleeve done. Let's do the next one. You're very quiet in the chat today. Totally fine. I'll sit here and burble away. We all know I like a good waffle, but the chat is very quiet. What are you all up to? What are you working on? I know, Caroline, you said you were going to go outside, but you decided not to. Words are hard. Yeah, sorry. It's like everything's just kind of like stopped, so I keep checking to see if the internet's still on, if I'm just sitting here literally talking to myself. Let's see. I think Caroline says she's been out. It's cold. It is chilly out there, isn't it? It's currently 16 degrees in here, and it got down to 15 last night, which I think means that I'm going to be allowed to have the heater back in here, which I am excited about because it's chilly. Right. Yeah. It's very bright and crisp out there, but I'm very glad I've got my dressing gown, cardigan on. So yes. I think this coat will be finished right in time. Caroline says one more bag to pull out and go through from that table. Oh, you're having a clear out. Nice. How's it going? how's it going? I've got Nicola coming on the 27th, and we're going to film some videos together. And one of them is going to be like you've had your colours done, what now, with your stash kind of thing. So it's going to be interesting to see some of the fabrics. Like I think that some of these ones here are not the best colours for me. But I love the print so much, I bought it on every base that they do. So yeah, it's going to be one of those ones where it's like, you're going to pry that out of my cold dead hand, but how can I wear this in such a way that's going to work for me and that I'm going to look good in it? So yeah. A Russellworm says, random question, my internet connection is usually very patchy. Is it better for your channel, statistics, etc. if I watch later rather than frequently logging on and off? Oh, for a live stream, I don't think it makes much of a difference. Honestly, I think you're good. Priscilla says, I've been embroidering the OESD haunted house. It's pretty cool, 22 pieces, and you get to put them together like a puzzle. I need to start my Halloween costume though. Very cool when you start playing around with the embroidery unit though. Joker Clee says, greetings all. Hello. Caroline says, not too bad. Rejigging the storage, then going to make some key fobs. Nice. A Restaurant says, phew, thanks. No, please do join live. I mean, regardless of what it does to the statistics, if you're logging on and off, it's fine. Like, you know, if it's live, then just, you know, come and join us as much as you can, as your internet will allow. It's like watch time of the proper videos. It's like if people like log on and log off during those ones, it's that when they're like, ooh, that person did not enjoy that, and they get especially upset if they're watching your video and then you leave YouTube. I don't know how they know these things, but they do. Cookies, all the cookies, which are actually trackers apparently. It's just called something cute, so people are like, oh yeah, I'll have cookies, give me cookies. Try, let's see, it was, so YouTube have done this new thing where they can put adverts on to the live stream whilst it's live, whilst I'm actually live, and they give you like a low, balanced or aggressive setting. So I put it on balanced, but I do have like a little counter down the bottom there that says I can postpone adverts coming up. So I will try and do that for the live if I see the little bar in time. But if I miss it, I do apologize. But yes, it's something that YouTube are recommending for live streams. So I'm giving it a go and we shall see. And for those of you that have YouTube Premium, the one that you don't have to watch ads on, I do still get, if you watch my videos, I do still get a share of revenue from your subscription. That's how it works. So yeah. Three Stitchery says, hi Sean, good morning from Bruce County, Ontario. Good morning. And she's the corrected Sean to Asian. It always does that, don't worry. Joker Clee says, doth my nine deceive me, or is Sean sewing something, and does it have pineapples on it? Lol. No pineapples. It is complete. There's no print at all. It's completely plain. But yes, I'm sewing. Hey, Russworm says, hey, Three Stitch, home for me is Grey County, Ontario. Cool. Jessica says, hi from Melbourne, Australia. First time I've made a live. Yay, good evening. Sarah says, morning, just getting my coffee. And Three Stitch Category, I think I'm saying that right. Sorry, my eyesight is terrible. Says hello to A Russworm as well. But yes, I am basting my coat weight wool to the cotton flannel that I am interlining my coat with, and I do that because I really like the finish it allows me to achieve and the extra warmth, because as we all know, I am a lizard and usually cold. Karen says, hello everyone, sorry I've not been around for a while. My fibro has been dreadful. Hopefully it's behaving now. How are you, Shan? How are you all, Shan? I love your cake. Thank you. I hope you are, as you say, feeling a little better and everything is behaving itself as it should. I know fibro is not something that you get better from. Right, just making sure that I've got everything lying as nice and flatly as I possibly can back here. Like I really should be doing this by hand on a flat surface, but I don't want to, so I'm not. And it's not bitten me in the ass yet, and I've done this for a few coats, so. Leslie says, not working on anything. It's cold and rainy here in Philadelphia. Lazy day. It is a Sunday, so lazy Sundays are allowed. Sloth Sundays. Jacob Lee says, you and my wife would get along great. Lol, she's part lizard too. Yes. My dad is always really hot. Like I came down into the house to get myself a drink before coming down here, and it noticeably dropped in temperature, and it's because he's got the back door open and it's cold. It's not cold, it's like, you know, 16 degrees out there, but it's also not back door open, breeze coming through the house, warm. And he's even got a jumper on, and he never wears jumpers. So he's obviously feeling the chill, but he would rather have, it's like, none of the heating's on. So, you know, it's not like that's a problem, but yeah, it's like brr. Brr. Michelle says, morning lovelies, happy Sunday. Do I see actual sewing? I know. Who even am I? But yes, you do. Yes, you do. I wonder if I could tip it down a little more so you can see what I'm actually doing without it just being cutting my entire head off, and so I can see the chat still. That work? Sort of. Jacob Glee says, rest of us down to our underwear and walking around with cold drinks and fans. And what's my wife doing? Throwing another log on the fire while wearing her winter chill clothes and hot packs, lol. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh my goodness. What is wrong with my voice today? Is that better? There we go. Yes. Sarah says, I heard the part that you're interlining with cotton flannel, but you're still completely lining the coat, correct? Yes. The interlining, I am sewing to the outer wool now, and then I'll treat that as one piece, even though it's 2 layers of fabric. So that's why I'm sewing everything down, and then I'm going to put the darts into the back piece once it's been interlined, so that the dart is taken up at the same time out of both the wool and the interlining. And I'm using cotton flannel because it's thin and drapey, but adds a layer of warmth. And it also allows me to invisibly finish the hem when you come to have to like put the hem in of a coat. If you've got a really thick wool, you can usually do it fairly invisibly, but you will sometimes get divots in the wool. I know if any of you have watched Angela Clayton, her coatmas videos, like that's one of the things that she really doesn't like is hemming coats. Because like I think it was her green swing coat specifically, and then the blue one with like the stingray motifs on it. She didn't like how either of those were looked when they were hemmed, because the stitching was visible. and she didn't want that. So I found, for me, if I'm going to be doing a coat that is not going to be completely top stitched, that I want to interline it with something that when I sew the hem, I can sew it really securely at each seam point, but you then sew it, you kind of like slip stitch it or invisibly stitch it to the interlining between the hems. And I've done it on a couple of coats and it's worked perfectly well and not come apart, and I've not had a problem with it, so I'm doing it for this one. But yes, I will fully line this coat as well, because it's called for in the pattern, and because obviously cotton flannel is not in any way slippery at all. And I don't want to have to fight to get my coats on and off. Like, even if it's a completely unlined coat, like the Ulysses trench coat from Victory Patterns, the very lovely Nancy gave me the full kit for that. So they provided the fabric, and they did provide a lining fabric, but it was for the back flap and then to make the bias binding out of. And I actually completely ignored them, and I fully lined the sleeves of that coat and used store-bought bias binding. And I did line the flap as well, but I did that because I don't want to have to fight my coats on and off over these kind of things. And if it's a sticky fabric, or if it's not a slippery fabric, and you've got like a wool cardigan on, then like it's really uncomfortable. So I always fully line the sleeves of anything that's going to be outerwear with a slippery fabric, even if it's not supposed to be a lined jacket, although it's gotten to the point where I just prefer lined jackets. So I'm now like just drafting a lining for everything because I prefer it. Let's see, where did I get to leave the chat? Michelle says, gonna miss y'all for the next 2 Sundays. We're off to Disney in Florida for 7 days next weekend. I'm a wee bit excited. That's so exciting. Yay. Enjoy. Joker Clee says, oh, I hear the siren call of whiskey soup for Shan. Caroline says, it's only 10 degrees here in Guildford. Brr, cold. Abraham says, would the coat work for something warmer for interlining, e.g. thinsulate? Yes, definitely. What I would do in that case is I would quilt the thinsulate into the lining, possibly. So mum's, that's my only experience of using thinsulate, was it quilted to the lining, and it worked really, really well. You could 100% interline the outer with thinsulate. You could definitely do that as well. But like I say, my experience of using thinsulate was quilting it to the lining, and I think that would look amazing. But yeah, you could definitely do that. Joker Clee says, currently 0 degrees centigrade, 30 degrees Fahrenheit here on the eastern portion of the Canadian prairies. Daytime high is supposed to be 15 degrees centigrade. So what we're experiencing now, and you're at 0. So yeah, I mean, I'm complaining that I'm cold and it's 15 degrees. Yeah, 0 is obviously killed. 3 Stitch Cattery says, Joker Cleese, isn't that considered tropical for the prairies? Joker Cleese says, not this time of year, lol. It was 22 degrees centigrade last week, so it's considered tropical this time of year. Caroline says, guess who's come to watch with me? Kitten, hello. Hello, small puppy. Small lapdog who is giant. Eliza says, good morning from chilly Ohio. It's 45 degrees Fahrenheit or 7 degrees centigrade. Quick question. Can you tell me about your sewing table for the Benina? I would like to insert mine and not sure where to look. Okay, so mine is a horn cabinet, and we were talking about this earlier actually, because Priscilla has bought herself an 880 and she got a horn cabinet with it. So Mine is a horn cabinet. Mum's is a horn cabinet. Horn is actually an Australian company, and then there's koala cabinets, which is actually an American company, which again makes me giggle every time I say it, as you can see. I've never tried obviously koala, but I love my horn. I have the Superior, which was at the time the largest one that they did. Mum has the Quilter's Dream, and she's got an 880 in it, which doesn't technically fit. It's the 880 is too tall for the machine. For the lift, when you put it down, you can't. The machine pokes out at the top, so that is something to bear in mind. That larger machines probably do need the larger end of the range of horn cabinets. I love mine. I absolutely love mine. It's one of the reasons that this sewing room works as it does. They are not that. I mean, this one I've had this one for 8-9 years now. It's not exactly delicate. Like I've dinged it up. There's a few bits that I've had to put tape on because the veneer is peeled back and things. But you know, like no pieces have faulted in of in the time that I've had it. Priscilla's saying Horn of America. I don't know if you're going to be able to see if it's the right way around. Proudly made and owned by Australians. So I don't know if there's another company, another horn company. But yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I love mine. Highly recommend, especially if you are limited on space, because it folds down into a very small kind of like cabinet that's on wheels that you can move around. And like I say, it's the only reason that this sewing room works as well as it does. So I love mine. Highly recommend. Where did I get to with the jet? Oh yeah, I caught up with it completely. And yeah, and Priscilla's saying Horn of America. Is that what it says on yours? Because like I say, I've been asked about it a few times, and the few times that I've been to shows and things, that's always what I've been told. But I didn't know there was a Horn of America as well. Yeah, interesting. And Ari says, Sleepyhead by Passion Pit and Exquisite Earworm nursing in my brain for about 24 hours. Oh, you've got to love those. You have got to love those. Eliza says, thank you. You're very welcome. What size machine do you have? Because they will do the inserts, the perspex. You can just see their perspex inserts. They will ask what machine you have, and then they will cut them to size so that they perfectly fit in around your machine. I also went for the completely full one as well. I've got that, so when the machine's down, I can use it as a tabletop. Mum does have one, but like I say, hers doesn't quite fit. So yeah. Priscilla says wheels. Everything in my sewing room is on wheels. Love it. Yep, over here it's Horn of America. Interesting. Interesting. But yeah, no, for me, the only reason that this sewing room works, I need twice as much space. If everything was static, I would love twice as much space. That would be amazing. But we've got furniture on every single one of the walls that's static, and then all the furniture that's in the middle of the room is all on wheels. So the table and the 2 sewing machines are on wheels. I'm really cold. I'm going to finish sewing this seam, and then I'm going to go and get the heater out of the boiler room. So you guys will have to talk amongst yourselves for a little bit, but I am getting chilly. Need to turn the iron on and do a lot of ironing or something. Try and get the temperature up in here and not stab myself with pins. There is a video sew along for this pattern, the Hemisferic, which is brilliant. I watched it yesterday. It's 25 minutes long. I genuinely thought Pauline Alice was a Spanish company, but the sew along is in French with English subtitles, and it's really well done. And so far, I haven't looked at the instructions once. I will in a minute because I'm going to have to put a zip in, and I 100% want to make sure I'm getting that in the right way. And there's really clever little trick for the hem of this as well, which I want to make sure that I'm doing right. But yeah. There is faux fur fluff everywhere. I was really careful when I was cutting my faux fur strips because I didn't want to kind of cut the pile of the fur in the wrong way so that it didn't look good. On the, I was going to go and get the heater, wasn't I? That was stupid. Next scene. Yeah, I was being really careful so that I didn't want to cut the pile of the faux fur so that it would look odd when it was sewn in. So I was cutting it from the wrong side on the knit, on the kind of like knit backing as carefully as possible. But whenever you cut faux fur, you end up with fluff everywhere. And it literally is everywhere. I didn't use as much as I thought I was going to. I've got quite a decent chunk left, which I'm not at all sure what I'm going to do with it. It's a nice, it's a grey faux fur, but it's a warm grey. It's got lots of brown in it, so I think I get away with it. Eliza's got a 770. Yeah, you should be. You probably do want one of the bigger ones then. When you go and have a look at the cabinets, obviously they'll ask you what machine you've got. They will probably steer you in the direction of the larger ones. But Mum has the Quilter's Dream, and she's got an 880 in it, and it doesn't quite fit. So definitely bear that in mind. Priscilla says, I'll read that one. Jessica says, I have finished sewing a fabric godmother peony dress for a friend's wedding, and it's so pretty. Hydrangea fabric from Cloth Edit. Pretty. Very pretty. Sarah says, just faux fur. I got threads everywhere, no matter what I'm sewing. I mean, yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. I've just got stuff everywhere because, you know, sewing. We all know this. Caroline says, removable cuffs for the coat. How do I make them removable without having a, this is not a, okay, this is a genuine question. How do I make them removable without having like a bar tack or a hook to like hook them onto on the outside of the coat? Because I don't want anything visible on the outside of the coat. I don't want to put magnets in my wrist as well because I may get a smartwatch at some point in the not too distant future. She says, I mean, that's kind of laughable. If I have to spend anything on technology, it will be a new iPad or a iPad that has the ability to edit Final Cut Pro on it. So that's an expensive purchase. I've priced it up. The one that I would want is about £3,000, but it's still 1,500 quid cheaper than replacing my laptop, and my laptop is dying, and it was supposed to be replaced this October, and yeah, this summer happened, so never mind. Jessica says, curious, you ever use an overlocker or just fully line everything? I do use an overlocker. I even have a cover stitch as well. Overlocker, cover stitch. I only exclusively make knits on those though. Oh, I've cut my head completely off this time. Don't want that. You actually do want to see me, I think. Yeah, the only time that I've used my overlocker on woven fabrics is when I'm using something that's literally disintegrating as I look at it. I made a coat for a client out of a black chenille curtain type fabric, and it literally just fell apart the minute you looked at it, so I had to overlock it at the edges, because otherwise it would have disintegrated before I could have sewn it, which is not what you want. But I was scared of my overlocker for the longest time, which is why I kind of got to the point of fully lining everything and French seaming and bias binding. And now I just prefer that look. And that's the beauty of sewing, is you can do whatever you prefer, as long as you end up with a result that you like. That's the correct, however you got there is the correct way of doing it. So yeah. Karen says, I have seen them with buttonholes on the coat and buttons on the cuff. Yeah, but like on the, I don't want like a visible anything on the outside of the, oh, so do you mean on the inside and then you turn the faux fur back on itself? Eliza says, could you attach them inside of the sleeve and fold up? Great minds think alike, Eliza. Sarah says, maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I make a huge mess when I'm trimming my French seams. No, French seam spaghetti is a thing. Like, absolutely. French seam spaghetti, totally a thing. I'm going to get this piece done, then I'm going to go and get the heater. I am chilly. Very, very chilly. Okay, one more seam to do, and then I will go and get the heater because killed. Don't like it. Don't want to be cold. Don't like it. I have also got like a one of the recyclable carrier bags down here for all my thread scraps and fabric scraps when I'm cutting out and sewing. And when that gets full, our recycling will take it, as long as it's marked fabric. Once every 2 weeks, we can put those out, and then that goes to be recycled, which is great because I used to take my excess scraps and bits of these bags to H&M, and I do obviously create a lot of them because I do a lot of sewing. And H&M on the island is closed down. We have no more H&M, so I'd lost my place to take my scraps. So the fact that the council acknowledged this and are now doing it is awesome. And they just have to be in a bag, clearly marked fabric, not in with the rest of the recycling because they go in a different part of the lorry. And it can't be in a black plastic bag. It has to be in a other bag. I don't know why, but that's the rules. Right, so now that that's sewn, I need to go and mark the dart into the back of this and then sew the sides of the dart so that I can sew that up and then trim it. I'm slightly nervous about that. It'll be fine. Totally fine. Let's see. Karen says, yes, attached inside and folded up. Okay, maybe I could try that. Could definitely try that. Because I do, like I say, have a bit of this these bits that are left from the bits that I've cut, the strips that I've cut, and then I've got a good sort of like 40 centimeters of 150 wide left. No, not 40, 30. So yeah. Jessica says, I have to head to sleep soon, but wanted to quickly say how much I enjoyed the Closet series. So much inspo. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Karen says, oh, I have an advert. Ah, interesting. I didn't get an opportunity, or maybe I did and I missed it. Sorry. Karen says, when you go for heater, I'll go for my fan. I'm going to do that right now. Eliza says, is there anywhere in the US that takes fabric scraps? Does your H&M, I think you have H&M over there. Do they do that? Sarah says, I don't think anywhere near me does fabric recycling. Oh, that's a shame. Right, I'm going to go get the heater because I'm cold. And it's not warmed up any. It's warmed up by 0.3 of a degree. It's still 16 degrees in here. And I'm sorry, my lizard brain is saying that that is too cold. I'm back. I have heater. It's really heavy. Oh, there we go. Okay, plug this in because I'm cold. I'm always cold. That's probably not going to be best pleased with me, but never mind. Right. Oh, I need an extension cord. Where did I put it? Somewhere sensible. Where did I put it? Ah. There it is. Found it. My brain, honestly. Oh, that's where the spare Apple plug is. Okay. Cord, extension cord. Extension cord. Sorry. This is riveting, isn't it? That's on. Hello. Give me heat. Okay. There we go. Heat. That was a small battle. I took a spider web to the face. No. You don't like. Oh, there's fluff everywhere. So much fluff. So much fluff. Let's see. Right. Oh. Yes. Sorry, I've just read Mary Ellen's comment. There is a completely empty cubbyhole behind my chair. That's where this month's projects were living, and they are out and cut out now. So yes. Let's see. Where did I get? 3 Stitch Cattery says to A Rasworm, where are you buying fabric now? Owen Sound Fabricland closed. Jojo says, oh bum, was busy catching up on another channel on a Sunday morning. How rude, lol. Didn't realise you were live. Happy Sunday all. Hope you're all well. Very well, thank you, Jojo. I hadn't scheduled a live and I was about half an hour late starting. I had a slow morning for sure. Eliza says, no H&M close to me, so don't know of anywhere else. Interesting. Maybe worth having a Google or ask. I don't know. Eliza, where do you live? US. It might be maybe your local recycling center. I don't know. I'm not very good on like how it all kind of works everywhere else. But yeah, for me, I found out about H&M through Elise Lex from By Hand London, and then as I say, when they shut down on the island, the council kind of like we were looking, and the council were like, yeah, we do that. So yeah. Oh, it's cold. Jokingly says, quick, someone run over to Sean's and move everything around just slightly. And Ari says, good, I'm not the only one. Mim says, hello Sean, how are you? And hello Peeps. Very well, thank you. How are you? But yes, look. Completely an empty cubbyhole. So yeah. I think the more I make up coats, the quicker the cubbyholes are going to empty, because I've got 2 that are full of coat weight fabrics. So yeah, the quicker the coats get made, then there will be empty cubbyholes. And that's what I think I want to do for the rest of this year, is make some coats. I do want to make my lace dress, and I would like to try and get the Gertie Society dress done. Like I say, I need to get that one printed, so I need to send that off to net printers. I hate to think how many pages it is. I'm assuming it's going to be quite a few. I am not going to print it out at home and stick it together before anyone says that's just never going to happen. Nope. So I would like to get that dress done, and I would like to try and get one of the Gertie dresses done, like the Lana or the Liz, probably the Lana actually. I've still got to cut all the interfacing out for the pieces that need to be interfaced in this. So that is going to be fun. Let's see. Eliza says, does the empty cubby mean it's time to buy more? No, I am trying to be financially responsible. I genuinely am trying to be a little bit better about my spending, because I do have so much fabric behind me. So the things that I am buying are lining fabrics, interlining fabrics, and things like that. I will need some of those for coats coming up, like the red coat and the green coat. I need interlining for both of those, but I do have the lining fabrics for both of those. But yeah, I'm trying to be much better about the intake of fabric, because I've got so many beautiful ones back here. So I am trying to be better about that. It means that I will have a rejig of things, and I will, because I've got like, I'm trying to move my PDF and traced patterns over here. And I've done that completely now. But yeah, I'm trying to sort of like space those out a little bit better. So no, I'm not buying more fabric. I would like to very much. And as you can see, I do have some space, but I am also trying to be, like I said, I need to replace my computer. My computer is dying, and that is my livelihood. So it cannot die. And I know I could get a Windows-based computer for a lot cheaper than I can get an Apple one, but I would have to relearn everything, including the editing software that I use. And I've tried Adobe Premiere, I've tried DaVinci, I have tried all of them, and I don't like any of them because I'm used to Apple. You know, like I paid for Premiere Pro. It was the £300 software. So, you know, I've paid for it and I've learned it and I'm good at it to a degree. I'm not great at it, but, you know, I'm like okay at it. But yeah, I don't want to go back to a Windows-based PC because I already don't. It's not that I hate editing, but it's not like my passion. My passion is creating. And if I can afford an editor, when I can afford an editor, I won't care what software they edit on. They can edit on whatever they like. But for me, for ease of use and actually not wanting to pull my own hair out whilst editing, I absolutely need to have Final Cut Pro, which means I have to have an Apple product because Hackintoshes do exist, but I don't have the expertise to do that. So out of bobbin thread. It had been saying 16% for a very long time, so let's wind a new bobbin. Oops. Nimway's here. Hello everyone. I'm cuddled under a blanket on the couch today with tea and crochet. Autumn has arrived with force over the last 48 hours, having to have sewing to continue later. Nice. Mim says, wow, one empty fabric hole, not bad. I mean, technically there are actually quite a few if I stuffed each fabric cubby hole, but because they're organized in certain ways, I've got collections and types and purposes, and then like, you know, like because I've organized them in the way that I have, there's technically probably about 3 empty cubby holes if I went around and smooshed it all in, but I do like the way that everything is organized now, and I'm trying to keep the background here as pretty as possible as well, so everything's kind of shifting this way. Joker Clee says, great Scott, it's an empty cubicle. Quick, call in the scientist to see if it's become a portal to another dimension. Lol. Yeah. And Nari says, are you going to put books in the empty cubby? No, probably, like I say, patterns, because I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there you can see. I've got my PDF patterns along there. So what I'll do is move that fabric up and then make that the empty cubby hole and then patterns in there, because these are getting very full and I am continuing to you know, trace and do new patterns, maybe at a slower rate than I used to, but I am still making, you know, I'm still trying to do new patterns. I did a clean out of my wrap dress patterns before I do my wrap dress closet clear out, and I actually think I got rid of 9 patterns. Like, not got rid of, they've gone into the bags of patterns to sell. I really need to pull my finger out and make my website. I keep seeing all these adverts for Squarespace, which is why I went for Squarespace. One, because they sponsor so many YouTube channels, so I thought, well, if I use Squarespace, then they might want to sponsor me, which would be amazing, because they do sponsor a lot of sewing channels that I've seen. And then the other reason that I went for Squarespace is because so many people were saying how easy it is to use. And I really just need to sit down and like properly spend a day making myself what I want. It doesn't have to be all singing, all dancing like my last one was. I didn't know how to use my last website at all. Like, my web designer was a lovely guy, but I had to ask him for everything, and it just got really frustrating. So I kind of just stopped using the website completely. And I don't want to do that for this one. So yeah, I need to spend an afternoon going through and making my website up, and then I can have the shop up where the patterns that I'm destashing can go. I'm going to have some fabric destash on there as well. I did think about doing it on Instagram, but the whole point of like having a website which I've paid for with a shop on it is so that the shop does all the hard work of like calculating postage and stuff like that. So yeah. Three Cat Stitchery says, Sian, any tips for working with tulle? I have never. So YouTube it, Google. Google is your friend. I don't know. No, I want to. I've got I want to make a couple of tulle skirts for some of the lace dresses that I've made, but no, I'm afraid I don't yet. Jojo says, nice and chilled start, eh? Nice. Start singing easy like Sunday morning, but the Faith No More version. Joker Clee says, don't be silly. She's got more fabric stashed away to refill it. It's not actually a portal to another dimension. Well, I mean, technically it kind of is, but Lollapalooza says, a three stitch category. I'm in Kincardine and the other drive to Kitchener, or order online from Fabricville. Jojo says, please like the stream, folks. Yes, so 68 of us and 27 likes. Mim says, the hemispheric coat is looking great already. Is looking already great from what I can saw on Instagram. Thank you. I did try showing it earlier, but like you can't see a thing. It's just like a pit of darkness because it's a really dark navy. But yeah, I think it's going to be pretty. Sarah says, wondering about your collection. Are they making a comeback in 2024? I understand if you're avoiding them because of Sojo issues. I want to start sewing collections. What I really don't know is where to start or how to put fabrics together. Ah, interesting. Yes, I want to start 2024 off with this one, the Cobra Corsage one, and then I wanted to go over to the Citrus collection because there's some exciting stuff in there. So yes, I am. I was trying something different this year. Like, yeah. Last year, as we all know, did really not go according to plan. And this year has pretty much done the same thing, but you know, that is life, isn't it? And what's saying, God, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. I fully intend to do that, and I would like to do that, but I really wanted to try and do the projects that scare me this year. And I'm kind of I've got about halfway through the projects that I said that I wanted to do. The silk suit's not going to happen because I need to buy about £100 worth of beading and sequins and stuff for that. And again, I've got the silk, but I don't have the money to do that yet. So that's going to be and it deserves to be its own project. And I think I'm going to want a dress under it rather than trousers, but I'm not 100% sure on that yet. So that one I will start working on. Then the Dior silk skirts that are going to be dresses, I need to buy silk lining for those, which is £30 a metre, which again, I'm going to need, 90 quid's worth for each skirt. So, or each piece. So that again is on hold. But I do want to do the red silk and red velvet dress. So yeah, there's some that are going to go by the wayside, but I do think that I'm going to get most of my projects that scare me done. I think trousers is not going to happen as well because I keep picking the wrong patterns. So yeah. So that's another thing Nicola and I are going to talk about. So Nicola, for you guys that don't know, is from All About the Outfit, and she's the lady that did my colours last year, which was this time last year. And she's coming back next week, and the week after, and we're going to film a couple of videos about colours, and because she can do it online now, so it's open worldwide. And the other thing is we're going to talk about different ways that her services could be tailored to us as sewists. And I think it's going to be really interesting because I know one of the questions I get asked a lot is like, how do you work out what your style is? And I've done loads of different, I've done the curated closet, I've watched videos, I've tried doing workshops and things like that. And I've honed it down to what I like to get dressed in, which is fit and flare, cropped cardigans, emphasize the waist, and pattern and bright colors. But it's taken me a good, 10 years of sewing to get to that point. And Jojo had her colors and body analysis done while she was here. And I think you really enjoyed it, didn't you, Jojo? And what we were talking about was getting her to like plan a basic capsule for you, but not your average capsule collection. She can tailor it to you and the types of things that you want to wear. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to film the beginning of it, and then I'm going to make the 5, because I'm going to do 5 pieces, but she's going to come back at the end of February. I've got till then to get them done. She's going to come back at the end of February, and then we're going to film a styling session with those 5 pieces and then my entire wardrobe. And so we're going to try and do like 20 pieces total will get you this amount of looks. And I think it's going to be quite interesting because one of the things that she does a lot for her clients that don't sew, that do shop on the high street or do shop ready to wear, is put together like, look, you know, you've got all this stuff, but you never wear these, and these because you don't have anything to go with them. So this is what you need to look out for. And then if you get these pieces in, then you will end up with a much more versatile wardrobe, because you'll end up with pieces that can be interchanged and mixed and matched. One of my big problems is, as you can see, I love print and I don't really make plains. So that's something that I do need to kind of work on. And that's what I was doing with my suiting. But in my head, I had it that I had to make a certain thing with my suiting. Oh, I've just missed an ad. So sorry, you're probably getting an advert now. Sorry. But the plans that I had for this suiting was going to be amazing, but it's also going to be that kind of thing that I am probably never going to wear because, as we know, don't wear separates. So we're going to, Nicola and I are going to sort of sit down and talk about what I do like to wear, how I do want to get dressed. And then she's going to be like, okay, I think you need to make this, 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 and this. And it's not going to be your basic capsule wardrobe that everybody else on the internet is like, okay, so you need a pair of jeans, you need a jacket, you need a white t-shirt, and you need a white shirt. You know, like, it's like, that's every capsule wardrobe video that I've ever clicked on has just been like, not for me. So whilst my capsule wardrobe will look very different to yours, the nice thing about Nicola is that she will work with you to work out that, this is how you get dressed. These are the things you feel most comfortable in. So if you have these few things, then you can, sorry, I've read a comment, it's distracted me. Yeah, so, you know, if you make these few things, then it's going to work massively with the stuff that you've already got. So, and she's going to be offering that service to everybody, again, virtually, as well as in person if you want. So yeah, I thought it would be quite interesting. And as I say, like a lot of people ask me, it's like, how do you work out what you want to make? I mean, I got really lucky. I did the thing that a lot of people do and made a lot of flouncy dresses right from the get-go. I just happen to like flouncy dresses, and I happen to wear flouncy dresses every day. And I don't know if that was chicken or egg, like what came first kind of thing. My love of flouncy dresses, or the fact that I'd made them, also I had them, so I wore them. So then I've discovered that I love them. But I know a lot of people do that, where they make they make the trendy thing that everybody else is making, and then it's like, this is not for me. So, and you know, when you're shopping, that's a kind of a waste of time and money, in as much as if you buy something that you don't love, you can probably take it back. But if you're sewing, you've spent all that time making the thing. So hopefully it'll help kind of work out and refine down what you actually want to wear and make. And she's going to tailor it to skill levels as well, because Nicola is also learning to sew herself, which is really cool. So she's going to be able to tailor it to skill levels as well. So she won't be saying, oh yes, you need a blazer, you need a Balmain style blazer, and go make one to a beginner sewist. You know, she'll be able to tailor it as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. Hopefully it's going to be really interesting. So yeah. Where did I get to with the chat? But yeah, Sarah, so she would be able to kind of like sort of help you work out colors and fabrics and things like that. And same, you know, when I do my kind of intro to the collections and stuff, it would be like, I'm trying to, I've already got a board pinned of like 20 pieces that I think will work really well together. And there are some separates in there, but not as many as previously, because I've kind of worked out that I really ought to just make myself pinafore dresses that are long enough that they will go over my other dresses, so that these then become tops. So yeah. Oh, or if I do make skirts, make them long enough so that I can wear them over my dresses, kind of thing. Lollapalooza says you would hate windows now. Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to. Marianne says came in a little late. What part of the coat are you working on? I am interlining the 4 back pieces before I start putting in the darts and sewing them together. Sue says afternoon all. Hello. Minari says lots of little kitty faces. Jacob Clee says woohoo, more lemons. Lol, yes. Citrus for the win. Gia Gracer says hi peeps, won't be joining for long, on my way to do a night shift. Hello, how are you? Sarah says much better to wait until you can do the projects and the projects that scare you justice than power through with them and not be happy with the end product. Yeah, completely. 100% agree. Caroline says you need a dirndl. You need to get the dirndl. You need to define the right shape of trousers. I can't read. Yeah, that's another thing that Nicola and I were talking about, is the type of trousers that look good on. She's got similar, if not same, body shape to me, which is very helpful. Except she's 2 inches taller than me and wears high heels, and so I feel like a midget, which is very odd. But yeah, so we were talking about trouser shapes that actually suit me, and what I should be working and should be making, and what I had in my head. And like I say, I have gone and tried on a bunch of trousers, and there will be a video about trousers. I'm just not sure if I'm going to put pressure on myself to get it done this side of Christmas, because it's such the busy time of year, and I don't want to have things that are not successful in the works. I want to, you know, I want to have time to be able to try and fail and try again, kind of thing. So yeah, I think trousers will happen. I'm just not sure if it's going to be this year or not. Lollapalooza says, when you did your trouser try-on day, did you find any styles that you liked? Yes, I did, a couple. And like I say, the video will be coming. It was slightly more difficult though, because none of them fit me well. I had to try a size 16 on for everything to get it on my bum, and so it didn't fit, and they were all far too, even the high-waisted ones were far too short-waisted for me. So there was a lot of kind of like pulling and pinching of stuff, rather than trying on something that really fitted. But yeah. Nimue says, you've given trousers a very thorough try this year from various angles, so you worked on it and you just didn't reach the finish line yet, and that's progress. Very true. Very true. Stitch Cattery says, that sounds wonderful. Yes. Aaron says, good morning from Virginia. Good morning. Caroline says, my son did some sort of tweak on the browser so I don't get ads. Lovely. Lucky me. Nice. Jojo says, I did. Nicola is fabulous. I learned a fair bit about bringing out the best of my skin tones, especially being chronically fabulous and often looking freshly dug. You got to work to your strengths, right? Yes. Sarah says, just enjoy making your coats. Yes. 3 Cat Stitchery says, my project today is the duet trousers. Fingers crossed. Ooh, good luck, and let us know how you get on. Mim says, you can make your Make 9 next year all about trousers. That would never happen. I'm actually thinking I might do French poetry, because I have all of their patterns. I don't know if you guys saw Vox 3D's latest lookbook, but she'd done one of the Pleiades dresses and it looked amazing. I was just like, I won't buy it. And I think I haven't got their latest couple, the Leo dress and the Vargas dress. I don't have those patterns, but I do have the majority of the French poetry patterns. And I kind of think that maybe that would be quite fun to do. I really liked the loom dress. Trying to just make sure that everything is lying nice and flatly so that I don't get any weird bubbles in this whilst I'm flatlining it. I know I should be doing it by hand on a flat surface, but no. So yeah. The three stitch category. Why am I having such trouble with your name? Sorry. 3 stitch category says check out Vogue 1900. I think you might like these trousers. That sounds familiar. I think I might already have that pattern. Oh no, I don't have that pattern. And actually, they wouldn't work for me because they have a little front pleat. And that's one of the things that I've discovered that really does not work for my shape. It emphasizes my little tummy, which is little, and I am aware that it's nothing, and other people would be like, oh, I wish I had your figure. But for me, it's something that I have never had before, and it's like, I don't like it. And pleats and trousers emphasize it, and all I can see is the area that I hate, and I don't want that because I would immediately take the trousers off. So they're very nice trousers, but they're not for me because of that little pleat. I need flat fronts or darted fronts on my trousers. I'm gonna have to put the darts in a minute. I am scared. It'll be fine. Esto be totally fine. Totally fine. Nicholas says, I have the FP Stella, French Poetry Stella dress, and I'm trying to pinch myself for all up, psych myself up for all the go days. Honestly, guys, I can read. I promise I can read. I'm struggling today. You can do it. You can do it. I want to add go days to the 8177. I think that's going to be a really cute addition. I still need to redo that one, don't I? Oh, so I was going to ask you guys, I have 8 meters left of this fabric that I'm wearing today. And I've got, this is a long sleeved McCall's 7537 with the tiered and gathered giant skirt. So, you know, I have this long sleeved dress in this print, but I have 8 meters of this print left. What do you think I should make with the last 8 meters? I have a skirt, I have a top, I have another top because I had some weird shaped leftovers. I actually might need to steal that skirt back from my mum. I gave it to her because my Lena crepe one was fitting, but I have put weight back on and now I can't zip it up again. So I might need to steal back my 5-panel one that I've done from this fabric, which hopefully she won't mind. And I'll keep the other one for future proofing. But yeah, what should I make with my 8 meters of this fabric? So I want a summer dress, like a height of summer dress. To me, that does mean an eve, but I have got a lot of eves, as we saw the other day when I did my wrap dress clear out. So I am totally up for making something other than the eve. I did think about making the 8177, like the strappy version, because I don't have a button up. 7974 would be another version that I would probably put the flutter sleeves on, because I really like how the flutter sleeves came out on that white one with the embroidery, the leaf embroidery that I did. They looked really, really cute. Did like that a lot. But yeah, what would you guys, and it doesn't have to take the whole 8 meters of fabric, obviously. One of the other ones that I was thinking about making was the 9345 with the giant pirate sleeves, because I want to get some more of the old gold needle cord that I had from Lady McElroy. I've still got a little bit of it left, but I really like, because I made the cardamom dress in that combo last year, which I hated and has gone. But I was thinking I would do the 9345 shirt dress and then do a pinafore dress in this. And this would go with loads of other things, but I would like the 9345. So I could do like an Eve dress, and the 9345 out of that fabric, or I probably could get an 8177 maxi dress and then the shirt dress out of the 8 meters that I've got left. I was careful with my cutting because it is a directional print as well. That is something to bear in mind. I'm going to have a snowball. If you like me eggs, you'll love to do. Okay, so good. So good. So good. Right, where did I get to in the chat? Mim says, oh yes, Team French Poetry. They have such lovely dresses. Yeah. Like I said, I do have a lot of them. And I know I still haven't hemmed my loom dress. I really need to do that. I mean, what I actually need is my best friend to come visit me, and then I can fit it to her, because it's going to be too big in the boobies. So I need to be able to take the excess out from underneath, which is a really simple hack, and then I hem it, and then it's her dress. And then I will make myself another French Poetry loom, and because I had to kind of wing my full bust adjustment, but they've released a full bust adjustment thing for it. So yeah, I really want to try that one again. Today in Jen's sewing room, hello, catching up. I feel the same about Mac and Final Cut Pro. I also tried DaVinci, and it was just close enough to Final Cut Pro to annoy me, and it would be a pain to adjust to it. Back to Final Cut it was. Yeah, I love Final Cut Pro. Shambolic Sewer says, it would be another non-size inclusive brand though. I know that isn't your thing, but it's less inclusive for your fans. Oh, that's a very good point. Sorry, the French sewing companies aren't overly size inclusive, are they? Gertie is. I hadn't even thought about that. Thank you very much for pointing that out to me. Because yeah, I am very, very lucky. No, lucky is the wrong word. I said that once before and was told that's the wrong word. I'm very, very privileged to be able to not have to consider that, because I'm not in the extreme either way. I'm like, you know, dead in the center for a lot of pattern companies, and I shouldn't be. That shouldn't be the dead center. So yeah, that's a very good point. Very good point. Nicola and I were talking about maybe planning out a make 9 together, and rather than doing, because one of the things about this year's ones is I was hoping it was going to be a capsule collection, but the pieces like the dandy waistcoat and the Lucille trousers are not going to be for me, and they were kind of like the mix and match pieces. So yeah, but no, thank you for pointing that out. I hadn't even thought about that, so that is a very good criteria that I ought to think about. Thank you. Karen says, it's getting late. I had better go to bed. Have a lovely day night, everyone. You too, Karen. Thank you for joining us. Jojo says, I'm on the hunt for flat front trouser patterns. Same reason. I'll share any treasures I find if anyone else is interested. In the vast majority of trousers are pleated or tucks. It's annoying me. Do the Cocoa trousers, the Ralph Pink ones. I have those. Real pink cocoa trousers. I bought them because they look amazing on the model, and I was just like, oh yeah. I think they do have pleats, but they're sewn down. That's those ones. So yeah, they still have that front pleat. I bought those. I bought those years ago though, so that's annoying. Never mind. We shall find something. I'm sure there's some of those simplicity 1940 style patterns that have. Yeah. Words are hard. Words are hard. I think I need to make my trouser block and then draft from there, which will be interesting. Yudi Pelly says good morning. Hello. Sue says another Ashley, the 8177 for the Savannah. I think that's probably what I will do, you know. Caroline says, I like the shirt dress pinnacle combo. Yeah, I've got 8 meters of this left and scraps to cut out like annoying little cuffy bits and things like that. So I think what I will do is the 9345 shirt with the long sleeves, then get some more of the, or maybe even use one of these for a pinafore dress. I wonder if I've got enough of the Brielle wool to do a pinafore and a little cropped jacket. And hopefully replace the waistcoat that I made, because I need to fit that waistcoat better. That one just, I didn't lengthen it and I should have done. I know I should have done. And then I just made all of them because they were so quick and easy to make, and they kind of looked all right, but they could look better. Yeah. Joker Clee says, Minion Man says hello and wonders why we're all up at this hour of the morning. Lol. Good morning, teeny tiny one. HSO says afternoon all, turning in while I tried to get my latest make to fit 2 muslins and it still ended up an inch too big at the waist. Ugh, how annoying. What are you trying to make? I loved your 7974, by the way. Sue says, my sis has booked tickets for the Bridgeton ball. I need to make a Regency dress. That looks amazing. If it wasn't Regency, I'd be tempted, but I don't. I think if I went, I would wear Mama Featherington style dress, because she has some shaping at the waist and all of the boobs. She is not remotely Regency appropriate. I don't know what, I mean, there's no like historical thing for, like, I can't remember what her name is, her first name. Lady Featherington from Bridgeton. Lady Featherington images. Portia, that's it. Yeah, I think if I went to something like that, I would want that kind of a shape, which is not Regency at all because there's far too much definition at the waist. But she would have looked like a, yeah, like it would, because yeah, that's not Regency remotely. Like everyone behind her is wearing Regency. But I would do a Featherington. I would go as a Featherington if I went to that. It does look very fun though. Very fun indeed. Catherine says hello. Hello. Sue says winter in London, trousers by season of East are flat front. Ooh. Season of East, flat front. I will have a look. Thank you. Gig Racer says, thanks for keeping me company on the drive to work. I'll rewatch the stream from the beginning tomorrow. Have a great week, everyone. You too, Gig Racer. Caroline says to Jojo, I think the sew over at cigarette plants are flat fronted. Yeah, their ultimate trousers are as well, aren't they? And I actually like that shape. I need to have a look at it. I don't know. I think I prefer dresses. In my head, like I said before, I want to be Rachel Jensen, who is just amazing. And she wears these super feminine outfits, But then her husband is a tailor, so she has this amazing suiting as well. Like, she just looks amazing in it. And I want to be her. But in all honesty, out of the two, I would rather wear the floofy dresses. Like, if I made these trousers and suit combos, I mean, she looks amazing in that because she's wearing like lingerie as outerwear with the suit. She does look very, very good. Like, hello. But honestly, I would wear a dress. I know I would. So, like, I've got it in my head that I want to do all these things and I want to make all these things, and it would be like, yeah, you make the thing and you'll wear it. And it's like, actually, you know what? I probably won't. Now, that's not to say that I'm not going to, because my border print green suiting that I got from the Gold Hawk Road is definitely going to be a pair of wide leg trousers with a waistcoat, and it's going to look amazing. But I'm not sure how often it will get worn. But that's what I've had, that fabric for a long time, and it's been in my head that that's what it's going to be. So that's what it's going to be, even if it only gets worn like once or twice a year. But I mean, the amount of clothes I've got, then that we could say that of a lot of my clothes, couldn't we? So yeah. Nicholas says the duet trousers by Love Notions mentioned earlier by Stitch Cattery are flat fronted and can be made in a woven or stretch. I've not made them yet though. Ooh, I'll have to look. Sue says, I've just started watching Bridgeton. I love it. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. It's very silly, but it's so much fun. Catherine says, made it back to church this morning after 3 weeks off. Panini, very cute. The associate vicar's baby son was teething on his dog collar. Oh, and I finished cutting out the princess coat. Have 1 meter of wool left, 2 meters of underlining left, and 2.5 meters of lining left. Wow. Can you make a little capey, little hood, little hood, like, you know? Today, Jen says, Vogue has a couple of flat-fronted trousers. Just had a look. The 1831, 1966 vintage, 1830, 1960, 1870. I know these are big four, but there you go. No, that's awesome. Thank you. I will have a look later. Catherine says I'm not a hood wearer. Totally fine. Yeah, no, I'll have a look later, Jen. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right, guys, I need to trace on my darts to my flatlined pieces, and I'm going to need to concentrate to do that. So I'm going to call it a day, if that's all right. Thank you very much for coming and joining me. Tuesday's video is going to be the wrap dress pattern collection clear out and kind of like look through, and I'm hoping so. My plan is to get this coat finished today, which sounds like a lot, but I'm just going to work through into the night, into the dead of the night, because I don't need to fit it or try it on. I just need to make it up, and it's actually fairly simple, and I think I can do it. So I'm hoping that Friday's video is going to be my witch's hat video. That's the plan. I'm going to turn the sewing room into paper crafting messy room tomorrow. So like all of this gets put away and pushed back, and I get to get the other table out and sit and play with hot glue and metal screening and try and make a witch's hat. It'll be fine. Totally fine. Totally fine. That's the plan. That's hopefully what Friday's video is going to be. I'm hoping that's not going to take me too long, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to follow Bianca's tutorial and get some of the silk roses done as well to go on it. The only thing I don't have for the hat at the moment is one of the sets of feathers that I ordered, some ostrich plumes and the octopus. And Caroline has very kindly offered up her hubby's services, and he's going to make me a little ship at some point in the future to add to the hat, which is going to be awesome. But yeah, that's the plan for this week. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that does mean that I have to get this coat finished today. but I'm not filming the process, so it should be doable. We shall see. Let me catch up with the chat and then I will say goodbye to you all. So Jojo says to Caroline, thank you. I think you're right, but I'm not a Sew Over It fan. I had to make so many adjustments. The base block doesn't work for me, and a personal pain in the ass. And I have I have the carry and the ultimate patterns too. Nimoy says, I know vertical measurements being ignored is one of my soapboxes, but for the look of trousers, it's not just the difference between the waist and the hip. It's also the how far these two are apart. Yes, totally. I have to add length to every single pair of trousers that I've ever done. H says, I'm making a Nina Lee Park Lane next week for a wedding, so clock's ticking. You can do it. Jokingly says, hoods are great, especially when you've caught a chill and a burritoing yourself in the couch and can't get warm. Eliza says, thanks, Sean. Goodbye, all. Nicola says, I'm really looking forward to the witch's hat. Thank you. I'm scared. It'll be good. Norway says, have a great time with your make, Sean, and have a lovely week, everyone. Thank you. Nicola says, ooh, parity witch's hat. Sounds awesome. That's a plan. Caroline says, he reckons the mini HMS surprise the lucky lady. Oh, we can talk about it on Wednesday. Yes, that would be amazing, Caroline. Thank you. And Box says, hello, everyone. And I'm off. And Sue says, see you soon. So thank you very much for joining me. Sorry it wasn't advertised. Sorry I was late. Sorry about everything. It's just one of those days. But yes, thank you very much for hanging out with me. It's been a lot of fun. And I will see you all next week for a properly scheduled 11:30 start hangout. I hope. I shall see you then. Bye.